about my work and try to do the missing assignments.
Okay.
And once every other day or something,
Yeah.
I turn in the work to my teacher.
Okay.
And little by little, like bring it up and stuff.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's good.
I want to challenge you to talk to your teacher, and I bet you after you do that, you'll feel comfortable into mapping out. And I want you to try to, create a sheet to map out, what it's going to look like getting these assignments per day, not per hour per day, but just per day. Just say, okay, little tedious things. Or even you could just start off with like, okay, math, I have to do this. English, I could do this. Art, I could do this. And then from there, you could start checking them off.
Yeah.
I would start mapping out something like that, and give yourself an opportunity to visualize it, to know what the amount of work that's going to take to look like completed, and then being able to move forward with it. Right?
Yeah.
So how does the weekend look? Because again, like I said, I didn't want to throw this on you,
Okay.
but how's your weekend going to look like to get some of this stuff done?
It's gonna be all right. I mean, I'm not gonna be able to do it Saturday
Okay.
because Saturday I got catechism,
Okay.
and after that I think I'm going to a birthday party for my little cousin.
Okay.
So for sure I'll probably do it on Sunday because
Yeah.
Sundays I don't do anything. I just stay there bored.
Yeah.
Mine is just like there.
Okay.
But yeah.
So now Sundays we could move into getting some work done, right? I remember, like I told you, you look at the clock, you look at the work, and then you're like, when you get assignments done, you look at the clock, you look at the clock again, you're like, man, that only took me so minutes, now I'm moving on to my next project, and you start getting motivated.
Yeah. I could do it, I just have to be by myself and like,
okay.
just with music and stuff. It motivates me, so I'm just
yeah. All right. Well, then we got to find that and we got to get you that. Cool?
Yeah, but for sure, I want to bring up my grades before the progress report. And I'm not sure when they close, though.
Okay.
The grades close.
Well, just talk to your teachers about that, and you can get those dates. Maybe you can find out by your art teacher, and then from there you'll be able to get an idea. Okay. Well, yeah, man. I mean, I'm gonna be your biggest cheerleader, So, I know you want to raise those grades up, and you're motivated to do that, and I know you have it in you to do so. So, again, just talking to them about it, and you'll be halfway there, right?
Yeah.
All right, sir. Well, thank you so much for coming in. Do you have any questions for me? You want to talk to me about anything other than how your Thanksgiving was and work? We've already solved that. So.
I don't remember what I wanted to ask you.
Okay. There's probably something, huh?
Yeah, I knew there was something.
Was it about school or?
No, I don't remember it was about school. I don't think so.
Work, law enforcement, career.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I wanted to ask you about
that.
It's because what I want to do after high school is go to college.
Yeah.
But a lot of people keep telling me to go to the army or to the Navy.
Go into the military.
I kind of don't want to.
Okay.
I don't want to. Because first of all, like they ship you out to other places.
There are training facilities throughout the U.S. Yes.
And I don't know. I feel like I won't be able to be like that. I won't be able to be away from my family and friends for the longest time. And stuff. But I heard really good things about if we go to the military.
Have you gone to a recruiter?
No.
Okay. So there's a lot of things that go on. There's a lot of pros and cons that go on with career after high school, whether it be college, military, or just finding a job and work, working a trade or something like that, or vocational, like picking something like a skill, go to school, get your certification for that, and then just start doing it. There's a lot of pros and cons. What we got to do is we got to get you some sort of, and I do have access to some websites that will allow you to kind of find some sort of interest, something that gets you started. And a lot of that starts leading, when you start doing that, that gets you to start YouTubing some videos, going on some websites, whether they be school or the military, and looking into those, You know, you watch the videos, you watch the clips, you know, you read a little bit, but you know, it's really tough to make the choice because you have no idea what it looks like.
Yeah.
You have no idea what it is. And yeah, you know, that could be a tough decision because, you know, you hear one thing about the military and then you see it on TV.
It's
And then,
crazy.
yeah, and then
Yeah.
you know, you wouldn't know what your reaction would be unless you were like in it. And how do we do that? You know, how can we get you to do that? And that the starting point with that would just find yourself a recruiter. But you know, there's a lot of pros and cons or a lot of experiences where people have negative experiences when it comes to a recruiter, and then some have some positive experiences
Yeah.
when it comes to recruiter. And then just to even decide what branch, where do I even start from? You know, with all the military branches that there are, you know, what would interest me? Do you have an idea of one or two?
I'm not sure.
Okay,
I
okay,
really don't want to do it because that's not my thing.
that's not your thing.
Like I'll do something like that, but
So you feel like you could get into career, but maybe just something that's not involving the military.
yeah.
Okay.
Maybe like law enforcement.
Yeah,
Yeah.
uh-huh.
I'll do like border patrol, or I'll do the police academy.
Of course, yeah.
But I'm not sure. I feel like the military is too risky.
Okay.
Like I don't
Okay.
mind, but like,
It's hey, it's different for everybody.
Yeah.
You know, when I jumped out of high school, you know, I did the whole ASVAB testing. I had my recruiter. I took my exam, and once I took it, apparently I got a score where he was calling my uncles, because my uncles were in the military at that time, and he was calling them, blowing up their phone, and they're in Florida, and the other one was in New York, and they were like, "Hey, you need to go talk to this recruiter. You need to go take your mom. You guys need to go sit down with them, and you need to start, you know, filling out some paperwork." I mean, it was pretty much like, "You need to do this," and I was like, "Well, yeah, you know, but I'm at Southwestern, and I'm trying to do the whole school thing, and you know, I think I might want to do that." Mind you, my uncles, I hadn't talked to them in like years. My
Because of
recruiter. No. But just because they've been busy. They were out
Okay.
in the military, so they were, you know, sent, you know, in Florida. One was in New York, and they were out there. And so I was like doing my own thing. All of a sudden, I don't see or talk to my uncle in like years, and all of a sudden they call me like I need to go and give my life away to, you know, the military. Like, hold on, like, hey, how about asking me how I'm doing? You know, you're not
Yeah.
even doing that. So when the recruiter found out that I had a military family, he went to them because I kind of just stopped talking to him. And my mom wasn't going to force me to do what I didn't want to do.
no, yeah.
So you know, I just decided like, nah, I'm just going to try school and I'll do what I want to do, and I did that. It was a poor choice, but who knows what would have happened if I would have gone and signed the paperwork and gone into the Coast Guard, because that was the branch that I was going into. Like, you know, who knows what would have happened? Do I have regrets? Sometimes.
Sometimes.
You know, sometimes. Because my cousin did it, and he got stationed in Seattle, and he, you know, he was able to finish his 4 years, and he got out of it, and now he's a correctional officer. And, you know, he's happy. He had a good experience, but and now my uncles were here for him. You know, they retired, and then they found careers here in San Diego, and so they were able to walk him through it, you know, hand in hand. But then me, they were like 10,000 miles away in another state, and I was like, hey, you know, whatever. You know, my pops wasn't around that time. He was doing his own thing. So, you know, it was different for me, you know. But mind you, having the support, who knows what would have happened.
My brother actually wants to do it.
Your brother wants to do it.
My brother that goes here,
Yeah.
he actually wants to do it.
Okay.
He says that when he graduates high school, he wants to do 2 years
Uh-huh.
in the Navy. But
Okay.
I always tell him, like, are you sure you want to do it? But yeah,
Mhm.
he's like, yeah, I want to do it. I'm like, all right.
There's
It's your choice.
Yeah.
It's your choice. Go ahead, do it.
No, and there's going to be some different experiences when it comes to that. And again, it has to do with the recruiter and what the recruiter is willing to offer you. You know, and right away they're going to want to know what's going on with your grades. So they're going to look at your grades. And then from there, it's like step by step of showing you what they have to offer. They're going to make it sound really good. They're going to do that. Okay, and then from there they might give you some free stuff like T-shirts or whatever, and then they're going to want you to take a practice exam, and a practice exam is going to be able to tell them where you're at, when it comes in regards to the test. And then from there, if you get a pretty good score, average score above in the practice test, then they're going to just throw the exam to you. Here I think it's offered, in a sense of, hey guys, we're going to have the ASVAB test. If you guys want to take it, you're more than welcome to go ahead and take it. And that's the support that you're going to get here. But outside of it, it's going to be a little bit more like, we need you to go take that test. You need to go because depending on what result they find, they're going to encourage you. And then from there, it's kind of like you take it, and then they just sell it to your family. And it's if you're under 18, and then it's like, it's your choice at the end. But you wouldn't know until you got some sort of experience and visualize it. So, excuse me. So what we got to do is like you said, it's not, you don't think it's something for you. And that's fine. That's, it's different for everybody.
Yeah, because I have other things I want to do for this like law enforcement.
Yeah. And I think you've been very vocal about that.
Yeah.
And I think what we can do is we could, I could draw you out some sort of map or something, and then just, from there, like I said, I think what we could do next week is I could set you up with a website where you could take some an entrance exam, kind of like a placement where you kind of gives you ideas of where you could go, what areas you could go into field career-wise, and get some ideas there. I think what we're trying to do from here on out, even going into next semester, is kind of find some stabilization into a career and how we're going to go about that. Because if you have all these things going on, all these offers and all this, you hear all this and you hear that, it's going to draw you away. And it's going to discourage you from what you're trying to do here, academic-wise, so that way you could finish on top. Because that's where you got to start from. You got to finish here on top first in order to have all these opportunities happen to you out here. That's what we got to do. We got to get you, on top here. So once we get you finished and graduated, then from there we'll be able to place you into a certain direction as far as career-wise and academics. So, yeah. So I'll let you get back to art. Next week we'll talk. Let me see what I could come up with.
All right.
And then I'll be able to map that out. It's going to be something simple for me to do. Yeah. But the work is going to come from you. Okay? You're going to have to go into, visiting his websites and checking out some videos. And then, maybe I could see who the recruiter is here, talk to him or her, and see how, to approach you about it and see if they're going to have anything in the spring, some presentations or whatnot. Cool?
All right,
because I know they were out here like a month ago or something.
They were here.
Yeah, I saw them. They were out here, and were you able to get? Did you even talk to them?
Because I'm not. Really
yeah, you were like, yeah.
So
that's fine. That's fine, and I'm not going to push it. We're not going to push it because basically what it is the more knowledge then you're able to feel comfortable about making that decision. Right now it's really just like that's not my thing.
Really feel like doing it.
Yeah, and that's fine. That's fine. So we'll find some alternatives, and then if you want to go back and talk, think about it and talk about it, then we'll do that. Okay? Cool. All right. So let me get that.